Hello, everyone. First of all, welcome to Saturday night. I'm just going to give it a couple seconds here so that people can start to come in from YouTube and Facebook. Tonight, I'm going to be teaching the art of reading playing cards. So we'll just give this a couple seconds, let everybody start to come in. When you do start to come in, please shout out a hello. Let's see if this is working. Hello, hello. Just give it a couple seconds here for people to start popping in. Again, as you pop in, just give me a quick hello in your chat, lovely, so that I know that you're here and who's all working with me today. I don't know about you guys, but I am tired. It's like Saturday. I'm not supposed to be tired. I didn't even work today. Hello, people are starting to pop right in. Again, just give me a little comment on the chat so that I know that you're here and we can say hello. Hello, Verna from Lethbridge. How you doing, sweetheart? Hello, Denise. Hello, Diana. So good to see that people are jumping in. So you will see on the link of this video, just to start off with, that I have attached a PDF. Hello, Julie. Hello, Rula. Hello, Carrie. Hello, Stacy. I have attached a PDF attached to this video, which will actually give you, hello, my Sammy boy, the nurse Julie, hello. It will give you all of the meanings for playing cards. So what I'm going to be doing tonight is I'm actually going to be teaching you the art of playing cards, which is actually called cartomancy, just that you understand. So I have a funny story to share with you guys before I actually start teaching this to you. I actually created this for myself years and years ago. So I was just talking to a couple of girls. Let's go for a massage. That sounds like a great plan, Sammy. I'm sold. I'll stop teaching right now. Let's go. So anyways, I was in a hurry one day while I was headed to where I was doing my live readings, and I forgot everything at home, and I was booked solid that day. So I was all nervous. And where I was reading live out of, which was a place called Joe Bailey's. This will tell you how long ago this was. This was in Cochrane. Where I was reading out of, they had decks of playing cards on the table with crib boards. And so I was so nervous because I was so overwhelmed that day that I actually grabbed the deck of playing cards and pretended to be reading them. So when I got home that night, I grabbed a deck of playing cards that were sitting in my house. They were a Looney Tune deck that was actually bought for my newborn daughter at the time. And I grabbed them and I sat down with a black marker and I started writing what I wanted all the meanings to be. And it turned out to be something that I used to do readings for many years. And so I'm sharing with you that playing card, those meanings, just for the record. So that's in the link, and you do not need them today in order to learn this. Hello, everyone. Carol, Juliana, Wendy, Helen. Hello, everybody. Lindsay. So that link is there for all of you. And then attached to it is also the health spread, which is what I'm going to be teaching you. So I thought today would be fun to teach cartomancy, the health spread, is what I thought that we would do today, especially with, everything going on in the world. I thought everybody would be sort of excited to be able to learn how to be able to see people's health issues and what's going on, including yours. Okay, so I'm going to bring in, hello, Rex, I love you. Hello, JC. The art of reading cards is cartomancy, including tarot cards. Oh, that includes playing cards, tarot cards, and oracle. See, I can't argue with you, JC. You actually went to university. I cannot argue with that. What I'm going to do is I was originally going to allow up to 6 people, but there was some technical difficulties because so many people are doing so many live broadcasts and stuff right now that there's all kinds of technical difficulties. So what I did do was I brought in 2. So I'm actually going to give a quick introduction to 2 ladies that are going to learn with me who are in essential services right now. So they're going to learn live with you guys and me on the video. And then we're going to get started on the lesson plan. How does that sound to everybody? Just really quickly, out of all of you, how many of you actually have playing cards sitting in front of you? Well, I bring these ladies on. Maybe you can respond to me to let me know you got some playing cards sitting in front of you. So the first person I'm going to bring on is Tracy. Hello, Tracy. How you doing,
Hi.
Sweetheart?
Good, thank you.
Good. And then we've got Tanis coming in. Hello, Tanis. How you doing?
Hello.
Yay! You don't need to chat anymore, sweetheart. Well done. We were all nervous. It wasn't working for Tanis, so she was going to have to text me just like the rest of you guys are doing on the side, put it into chat. So that is wonderful that this works out. So I'm just going to let everybody know sort of what I want to start with. So there's a few things that I really want you guys to be able to understand especially when you're looking at tarot cards or playing cards. So the great thing about, and the reason that I chose Cartomacy to be first, is because it's actually your minor arcana in your tarot deck, with which a lot of people don't understand. Okay. So when you can learn how to read playing cards, you actually have the ability to very easily read the minor arcana in your tarot deck. Does that make sense to you too?
Yeah.
Because they go so close together. So there's a few things that are sort of exciting about playing cards and about tarot cards that a lot of people don't know or don't pay attention to or haven't been taught. When I teach playing cards with my students in my intuition classes and tarot cards, every suit. So when you're looking at the minor arcana of your tarot, or you're looking at your playing cards, there's 4 suits, right? So you've got the heart, spades, clubs, diamonds. How could I forget diamonds? They're like my favorite thing ever. Can't believe I just forgot diamonds there for a second. But so you've got 4, you've got the heart, spades, clubs, and diamonds, right? In tarot cards, the typical tarot cards, you've got wands, you've got swords, you've got hearts, and you've got coins, or you've got cups. They've got them, depending on the tarot deck that you're using, they've got them different, but there's 4 suits. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you guys what the suits are, what they represent, and then I'm going to give you some fun stuff about the people in the suits, which is the jacks, queens, kings. Okay. So the first thing to know is that every suit has a specific meaning. So there are 2 core areas of people's lives. So anytime you go to a psychic, or you go to a reader, or you go to try to figure out your life, there's 2 actual areas that you want to figure out, right? The physical and the emotional. Okay. So the 2 things that anybody wants readings on. Hello, everybody on the side. I do see you. Hello, Julie. We have our cards. I'm so glad. Hello, Trisha. Hello, Tara. Sammy. It's been a while since you played poker. See, Sammy's here to give me a hard time. I just told the girls before we came live that the thing that I'm missing right now is actually going and playing poker, which sounds so bad. It's my grandma and a mom and all these things, but it's poker I miss. Anyway, so we've got 4 suits. I know. See, squirrel, I'm gone, right? So we've got 4 suits. We've got the hearts, the spades, the clubs, and the diamonds. When anybody's coming into our world to do a reading, there's 2 core areas that they want to look at. They want to look at love, and they want to look at career, right? So I want you to think about this for even the 2 of you. Anytime you've gone to get a reading, where do your questions come through? They come through the emotional side, which is your love and relationships, or they come through the career side, which is money and business, right?
Right.
So that's only 2 of the suits. With every type of reading, you want love and relationships and career and money, and then you want the good and you want the bad. So this is where this is going to get interesting, and this is why I want you guys to be with me, okay? So you have 4 suits. Like I said, we've got hearts, clubs, diamonds, and spades, okay? So I'm going to give you, so we're just going to do this. Just give me a second. Okay, so we've got 4 suits, right? Hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades. That's the great thing about playing cards, is we don't have to figure out, is a cup of heart, is a wand of diamond, are you calling it Excalibur? Because there's so many different tarot decks out there, right? With playing cards, it's really simple. Regardless of what playing cards you have hearts, clubs, spades, and diamonds, right? Okay, so before we go much further, I'm going to tell both of you what 2 of these suits are, and then I'm going to get you guys, based on knowing this, what the other 2 suits are. Okay, so I'm going to give you the obvious one. When you're looking at love and relationships, you're looking at hearts, which just makes it so obvious, right? Same thing as when you're thinking of tarot cards. I mean, it's cups, right? So love and relationships is always hearts. Okay, so I'm going to make your 1 core one easy. And then career and finances is clubs. Does that make sense to you too?
Yeah.
How about everybody here on the side? You guys just keep throwing me stuff over here on the side, okay? So we've got love and money, okay? So we've got the love and money. Now, I said that there has to be good and bad. Right? Okay. So Tracy, you tell me which is good and which is bad.
Diamonds are good.
Yay! See how easy that is? Okay. And so one of the ways for people to be able to understand this, so if the diamonds are good, because they're girl's best friend, let's just be honest. If the diamonds are good, then the spades are bad. Okay. When I'm teaching a class to everyone, how I show it in the suits is the way that the clubs represent is they represent and look like a coin, right? Which is really common in a tarot deck. So if you look at a club, it looks like a coin, a heart, that's really super easy to figure out. And then how you figure out the bad is the swords or spades, because they've got a point to them, which looks like they could cause harm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's what makes it so easy for playing cards. Okay. So playing cards are 4 simple suits. You've got love, you've got money, you've got the good, you've got love, you've got money, you got the good, you got the bad, right? Super, super easy. Okay. Now, when you're going to learn how to read playing cards, or when you're going to read playing cards for other people, or any type of cards that you read, which you were saying, Tracy, you have an angel deck, and Tanis, you were saying that you have an angel deck too.
I believe mine's angel.
Yeah, you just don't necessarily know how to use them, correct?
Right.
Okay. So what the two of you are talking about are called oracle cards, which are a little bit different than our tarot cards. I mean, you can get fairy. You had said fairy, right, Tracy? Yeah. So you can actually get fairy tarot cards, but I'm pretty sure you're talking about the fairy oracle cards, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you know? Yeah. Okay. So you can get, with tarot, you get so many different types of cards. And the reason that there are so many different types of cards out there is because you're looking for something that you can get an energy connection to. Okay. So what one reader can see in a deck of tarot cards versus what another reader can see is completely different depending on the deck. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For me, my very favorite tarot decks have always been a deck called Osho Zen. And the reason that I love them, and they're a tarot deck, but the reason that I love them so much is because they're so colorful and their pictures are so out there, and they jump out to me. Okay. What a lot of people don't understand, hello, Katie, Kate and Andrea, what a lot of people don't understand is when you're thinking of playing cards, you just think, they're playing cards, no big deal. But energy in any type of reading is absolutely everything. Okay. So your entire goal, regardless of what kind of cards you're going to read, but this includes playing cards, your entire goal is to find decks that have pictures or symbols or something that jumps out on you. The difference between a tarot deck and a playing card deck is the pictures on the actual deck don't matter. Okay. But it's for you. It's so that you can get an energy connection to them. Does that make sense? So like I had said originally, the very first deck that I ever had was Looney Tunes, which definitely suited my daughter. And I shared that with you guys, that I won't share with everybody else. But so it definitely suited my daughter, but it was the only deck that I had in the house. It was very shortly after that I went on a search for playing cards that would jump out at me. And over the last sort of 20 years, what I'm really drawn to is Harry Potter decks. Let's just see what I got here. So just give you guys some examples. I got Harry Potter decks. I got, I don't know what the heck these are called, but I really like the pictures of them. Those are alchemy. Those are alchemy decks. I've got Anne Stokes. I actually have a few packages of Anne Stokes. And so I'll just show you, because Anne Stokes for everybody, are what I'm using right now. So I'm just gonna show you everybody here just a few sort of pictures. I've already shown that one. I'm just gonna toss these to the side. Just give me a second, you guys. So I'll just show some pictures of the. I want to make sure that my angle's right. So they're just very unique art. Right? Anything from unicorn to devil stuff. And Ty, I think this is Ty that's asking me, but can you make your own playing cards? So absolutely, if you want to get really creative, and I have actually had classes have to make their own tarot cards. They weren't very happy with me as a teacher. I'm just going to throw that out there. That wasn't their favorite class they've ever had because it took a lot of work, but you can absolutely make your own deck of playing cards. Okay. The other thing that you can do. Oh, is that the Harry Potter deck from England? Of course it is, JC. And you guys will notice, all of you on the side will notice that a few of you are students of mine. So Phoenix Warrior is a student of mine. JC is a student of mine. Michelle Boyd's a student of mine. There's a few of you. So they're going to be getting quite a kick out of this, and they're used to my playing card decks. But you can absolutely make your own deck. The other thing that you can do that's really great information is, let's say, You really love the Anne Stoke deck, for an example. You really think the pictures are pretty, but you love the clubs the most because they're all unicorns. Does that make sense? So you can take the Anne Stokes clubs and you can mix them with another deck of hearts and another deck of spades and another deck of diamonds to create your own unique deck, right? So that the pictures all jump out at you and you feel good with them. Is all that making sense so far?
Yeah.
I'm not confusing you guys, right? Because if I'm not confusing you, then I'm not worried about confusing them, right? So you want the energy to be really strong and be able to connect to your cards. It's no different than, an example, what made you decide to go fairy cards, Tracy, when you were looking at cards? What made you decide to get fairy cards?
I like fairies.
Right? It's because you connected to them instantly. Do I have that right? How about the angel cards, Tanis? What made you decide to do that?
I just like the pictures that were on them.
Funny enough, when I teach tarot, the way that I teach tarot is that it's actually the pictures that you're reading when I'm teaching tarot to my students. Okay. And I'm actually going to explain this to you. In anything that you go to do, in any sort of intuition, in any sort of stuff that you do. JC, I've seen people use Pokemon cards too. Yes, that's an absolute option. But there's things that we don't necessarily pay attention to or recognize. And the one thing that's important is that your logical side of your brain and your intuitive side of your brain do not go well together, which for intuitive people, for empaths, can cause us a lot of difficulties, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's caused you guys difficulties many times. So your logical side and your intuitive side, they do not go hand in hand, okay? And your logical side of your brain is actually the dominant factor in all of our brains. So all of our brain are dominated by logic. Okay. Important information when you're looking to read things and you're looking to develop your intuition. And this is going to be good for you, Tracy, because you're actually coming into my intuition class. So this will be good for you to be able to understand, especially like my students do on the side here. You never want to mix your logic and your intuition, because as soon as you start to mix the two, your logic will become the dominant factor instead of your intuition. So your logic will become the majority and your intuition will become the minority. So when I'm teaching cards, regardless of whether they're playing cards or whether they're tarot cards, you never, ever, ever have to or should memorize what a meaning is. Okay. So one of the downfalls that we have when people learn how to read tarot cards is that they get very caught up in what the meanings are supposed to be, because, with every tarot deck, there's a book of what every card means. My students have always hated me because if they get caught with a book in my class, I take the book and I burn it. If they have a meaning book, and it's actually been amusing, I'm not gonna lie. There's been a few students that are like, crap, and they're trying to hide their book as fast as possible. I'm like, it's a little later. I already seen the book. Head it over. I'm like, no, it came with my deck. I'm like, I don't care. Because as soon as you start to think about meanings, I'm just brutal. Like, I sound like such an awful teacher. The students that are on the side here can just keep their little comments to themselves. Exactly, Michelle. I burn it. That's it. It's gone. And the reason for that is because if you're using the logical side of your brain, you're not using the intuitive side of your brain. Now, don't misunderstand me. I could absolutely teach and train. Never look at the book, CJC. Never look at the book. I can actually teach and train an unbelievably logical person, a person who, if we were to try to scale, would be lucky if they had a 2% intuition. I can't say 0% intuition because nobody has 0% intuition. I could teach a non-intuitive person how to be very successful reading cards only based on meanings, but there is no intuition that's evolved there. It is pure logic. Okay. So you have to sort of pick your battle, if you will. And so when I teach cards, it's all based on not having to think about what the cards mean, which is why, LOL, all my books are in a box away from class. Yeah, that's fair. Because if I see them, I burn them. That's why nobody brings their books to class. So anyway, it's the reason why when I teach tarot cards, I teach it based on the colors so that everybody can understand. And when I teach you playing cards, I actually have a list of meanings for them. But the great thing about the list of meanings, so you guys will all see, this is what your list of meanings look like when you download the link that's going to take you to your meanings and stuff. And what you do with those when you're looking how to read playing cards is you take your meanings and you bring them over to the side, and then you take your tarot deck. I usually suggest a thin black Jiffy marker instead of a thick one, but it depends on how well you can read your own writing. I have really bubbly, fat writing. And so what you do is, so I'm just going to give you guys this as an example. So I'm just going to go into the clubs here because I got a 6 of clubs in my hand. So what you're going to do is so there's your 6 of clubs. So what do we got here? 6. Oh, there we go. Okay. So 6 right here, we would write rewards in business because that's the meaning of the card. So rewards in business. Okay. And then on your guys' thing, you'll see a little thing or a flip and you'll turn it around and it'll go hard. And then you'll write hard work here. Okay. So all of the meanings will actually be sitting on your cards. Makes life so much easier. Okay. So when you're doing readings, because you don't have to remember anything, because you don't have to think about anything, what happens?
Your intuition takes over.
Your intuition takes over and it tells the whole story. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's one of the things that I love about playing cards. So now I'm going to share with you. So for all of you that are watching, for everybody that's doing this, for everybody that's participating, I suggest that Amazon is a great thing right now because nobody can go out. And I did double check on Amazon. They got some really cool cards. As a matter of fact, I might have ordered 3 other decks. I might have done that. I'm expecting them next week. I'm Amazon Prime member, so I'm a junkie. Junkie.
I'm an Amazon junkie too.
Right? It's a bit of an addiction. And a part of me feels really bad, but it gets delivered straight to my door. And I get a little email that says I've got a package. It's like Christmas 5 days a week. I get so excited. Even if I know what's on the order. Like, I mean, I order everything. I ordered my husband's boxers off Amazon. Like everything. The only thing I couldn't order off there was toilet paper because they wouldn't let me. And I was not very happy about that. So I did order a few decks of cards on Amazon, just for the record, because I apparently don't have enough of my 30 decks now. So you can go on Amazon, you can find decks that you really like the picture of, order those, and then pull out your meanings, print them out, or look at them on your PDF on your computer, and then write out all the meanings, and then you can play with them like crazy. Okay. Now, the one thing that is happening for Tanis and Tracy is that in the next 2 weeks, they're actually getting a video from me that's going to give them the next step of playing cards that they're going to get because they decided to do this with me. So that's what all the meanings are for. Now, I'm going to go into each one of the suits because everybody's talking like crazy over on the side. And you can ask me questions as you're over here on the side. And just really quickly before I continue with that, JC, what I found is most of the time when you look at the cards and look at the wide variety of meanings, they come through without needing to have to know the book. Yes, that's true, especially when we teach you how to read them based on the pictures. JC, that's why we teach you pictures. I like pictures. And apparently the nurse Julie is an Amazon Prime junkie. See? So we've got people in common. I really am a junkie. So I just want to make sure that I've got all this right because I decided to do this sort of raw today. So we've got the hearts are love and relationships. We've got clubs are money and career. All of that's established, right? We've got diamonds are the good things that are going on in our life. And we've got spades are the trouble, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So now I'm going to give you each one of the individual suits as far as the people go. So when I was doing all of this, I really had to figure out how I could understand people when I was doing readings, which is why I sat down with this. So I sat down and asked myself some unique questions. So the first question that I asked myself is, as being a reader, because at this point I had been a reader for a while, what I seen to be a common sort of trend when it came to personality traits. Okay. So I'm just going to have some fun with you guys for just a second and see if maybe anybody, you guys or the chat can actually establish this based on what I'm saying. So I sat down and I looked at the meanings of what I had created for each of the individuals. So the Jack, Queen, King of Hearts, the Jack, Queen, King of Clubs, the Jack, Queen, King of Spades, the Jack, Queen, King of Diamonds. Okay. So I sat down and looking at what the meanings were, I established what their hair and eye color were. Okay. So we're just going to see if anybody here on the side that is not one of my students, just FYI, you do not get to cheat because there's a few of you there and they're going to throw it out as fast as they possibly can, all proud of themselves. So I'm based on the meanings, I'm going to ask them and I'm going to ask you guys if you could tell me what you think might be their hair and eye color. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is love. Okay. So love, first thing to understand about the love suit. Amanda just did her whole winking. I know you're a student of mine, Amanda. Don't you dare throw out the meanings and the hair and eye color because I'll kick your butt. So hearts are all about love relationships. Because they're all about love relationships, the Jack, the Queen, the King, they're all about emotion, right? They're all emotional creatures. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
So knowing that they're emotional creatures, they're sensitive, they lack confidence, they worry too much, they're affectionate and caring, and they're passionate and understanding. So based on that information, just in the years that you've been here on Earth, what kind of hair and eye color do you think typically holds those sort of personality traits?
I'd say brown.
What do you think, Tracy?
The hair color, I would say
Yeah.
brown as well. That was my initial, but I also thought blonde, but brown came first.
Okay. How about eye
Mhm.
color? What do you think in
Blue.
eye color? Blue?
Still
Okay.
go with brown, yeah.
Would you? So the
Yeah.
hearts are actually sandy colored hair, which could definitely be brown. It means more than one hair color. So the thing to remember about hearts and being emotional is that heart people are never one thing, right? So
Yeah.
if they're never one thing, their hair color would be sandy and their eye color would be hazel. So not one solid hair eye color and not one solid hair color. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yep.
Do you guys see how I got that?
Mm-hmm.
I
Because
do.
as emotional
Yeah.
creatures, we're all crazy, just for
Right.
the record. I see a lot of people over here on the side thought heart should be blonde and blue. So this is definitely going to get interesting. And where I find this extremely interesting when I'm dealing with my students is they like to take it real personal when they figure out what they are. If they're a queen or a king of clubs, spades, hearts, or diamonds. Based on the meetings, they get a little testy with me. So it's fun to do. Okay, so hearts are sandy colored hair, which is more than one hair color in your hair, and hazel eyes. So now we're going to try this. We're going to try clubs. Okay. Clubs are very logical people, right? They're very logical. They're very analytical. They think first. They're sort of scientists, accountants, not really lawyers because lawyers can be pretty conniving. So they're very, intellectual in their thought pattern. They love to learn. They're always thinking things through. They're always processing. So based on that, I never take anything personal. So based on that, what hair and eye color do you think that a club has?
I'd say brown hair, blue eyes.
Nice. What do you think, Tracy?
Brown for both.
Brown for both. You
Yeah.
got it. And it was so funny because Trisha here, who I do not think is a student of mine, went brown hair, brown eyes right away. Brown hair, brown eyes. Cora came back with black hair. See, any of you that have really dark hair, you're not allowed to get mad at me at this next one, but you guys nailed it. It's brown hair, brown eyes. Okay. And it's really, and I don't mean for it to sound this way because I don't actually mean it this way, but very intellectual people are kind of dull. Just they're grounded. Grounded's a far better word than dull because there's going to be a lot of people watching this video going, that woman just called me dull. I'm going to start getting some hate mail. I should have thought of that before I actually said that out loud. That probably wasn't good. Oh, well. So they're just very grounded. Okay. And so when I'm teaching the class, Michelle's laughing at me over here. So when I'm teaching the class, I always say, like, if you're grounded, let's think of the ground. So it's brown and brown. So the next one I'm going to do for you is diamonds. Now, this one should actually be really easy once I explain this to you. Okay. So diamonds are considered perfection. Okay. So diamond people are cunning, manipulative, but care very much how they look, very much how they present themselves. They're classed as sort of the perfect suit. So based on the perfect suit, Tracy's got a big smile on her face. So based on the perfect suit, what's their hair and eye color?
Blonde and blue.
Blonde and blue, right? That is the easiest one.
Mhm.
I've got a few people over here throwing out blonde and blue, right?
Yeah.
It's classed as the perfect race. I mean, they're very sharp and they can be very cunning and they can be quite manipulative and little princess-like for the women. Okay, so I'll just give you an example. In diamonds, where's my diamonds? So the Jack is headstrong and stubborn, and the Queen is manipulative and known as the true. And I can't say it this way because it's going to be on YouTube. So we'll go with bag because I'm not allowed to swear on YouTube, but it's a swear on there, just so you guys know. And then I've got the man is cunning and intelligent with a temper. Okay. So blonde hair, blue eyes. They're just very sharp. They're very crisp. But the easiest thing about them, Rex, Ginger, and Blue, shut up. Jesus. Ginger, perfect. Come on. So anyways, so with the diamonds, that's the easiest way for us to always remember them, is that it's just classed as sort of the perfect race, or what society would class as the perfect race, which leaves us to spades, which in tarot decks is known as swords. So I'm going to give you the meanings of these people, and then you can tell me what you think. Again, keeping in mind that it's the trouble of the deck. Okay. So they can be self-destructive. They're not as they seem, conniving. They have a temper, but they're very cunning in how they'll go about it. They can be ruthless, somewhat narcissistic, and extremely ambitious at all costs. Soulless and perfect. Can you guys see these messages over here on the side?
No.
Yes.
Rex just said a ginger is soulless and perfect. It's kind of valid. I have ginger grandchildren. It's a little valid on that one. But knowing this based on swords, okay, so they can be cunning and manipulative. They're narcissistic by nature. What else can I tell you? They're very this personality, or this type of person is known for being gaslighters. They don't take responsibility for their own actions very easily because they really don't think they've done anything wrong. Based on that, what do you think their hair and eye color might be?
Red hair?
I'd say black and green.
So black and red hair is correct, just so that you
Okay.
know. So it's black and red hair. And then what color eyes do you think?
Green.
How about you, Tracy?
Not sure. I'll go green.
Okay.
Yeah.
They actually have dark eyes. So the darker the eyes,
Oh.
the harder it is to trust.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Because you can't actually read the eyes. Now, you'll notice in this that I did not add green into any of my equation and hair and eye color. Okay. And the reason that I didn't is because green is the same remnants as hazel. So when people have hazel eyes, they have hazel green or they have hazel brown. They're the same as hazel. So typically a green-eyed person goes into the hearts category. Rula, what? And the reason that she's doing that is because she's Greek. So you're guaranteed you got dark hair and dark eyes. And it was actually so funny because now I've got all kinds of clients and students and stuff from Montreal, and they all just give me looks because they're all Italians or Greeks, and it's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry in advance. I'm so sorry. But you got to think about it because it's even by nature. Like, even if, and you, Rula, over here on the side, you know I freaking love you. But if you think about even, nationality wise, if we're even going to pay attention, and there's no judgment and there's no racism when I say this, okay? When you think of the Greek community, they're very blunt, they're very bold, they're very like, do you know many Greeks you want to tick off? Like, right? Like, yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I'll sit down and eat. No problem. Love those wine leaves wrapped with rice inside of them. Absolutely. Absolutely. I will definitely have some souvlaki, right? Like, you just don't mess with them. Italians too. Like, there is a reason why it's called the Italian mob, people. Like, let's just pay attention to this for a second. Okay. Like, would you really think that a leader in the Italian mob are really sweet and adorable and they're going to take you out for dinner before they shoot you dead and bury you somewhere in the desert like they're the mob, right? At least this was my way of thinking when I created this playing deck. See, I don't get out much. I really do not get out much. This is my amusement. So, based on all of that information, so again, based on what all the hair and eye colors, and do you guys still remember what those hair and eye colors are?
Yes.
I think so.
Perfect.
I wrote them down.
Good job, Janice. You're like one of my students in class where they bring me the big notebook, and every time I start talking, they're making notes like crazy. I find it awesome. So anyways, based on that, and based on the fact that you can be more than one suit, because this is all, Rula's laughing at me now. Like, she's got these little smiling things that are rolling over. I would eat whatever Rula put in front of me at dinner, just for the record. I adore her, but I would definitely eat it. And I'd say, yes, ma'am, while I was doing it. But anyway, based on that and understanding that you can be more than one suit. So this is really important information. You can be more than one suit. I want you two to share with me who you think you are, the queen of what? Okay. And then I want everyone on the side here that's watching this to actually tell me what you think you are. Do you think you're the queen or king of hearts, spades, diamonds, clubs, or do you think you're the hearts and clubs? Do you think you're the diamonds and spades? What do you think you are?
Hearts for me.
Your
I'm a
hearts? 'Cause-
very, I've got, well, the hazel eyes, brown hair, but I'm a very emotional person.
yeah, but you don't have brown hair, sweetheart. Look at your hair again.
It's colored.
I understand that, sweetheart, but you don't have straight brown hair, just FYI. I totally get it's colored, which is where it's going to be interesting for you guys to all tell me what I am. But your hair is actually multitude shades of brown.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you? Naturally,
Yes.
your natural hair color is multiple shades of brown. So you would actually just
Yes.
be straight the Queen of Hearts, which basically makes you an emotional basket case. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. What do you think you are, Tracy?
A mix. I feel like I'm a mix of maybe Queen of Hearts
Mm-hmm.
and Spades.
Correct. You're 100% correct. Now, based on that information, gray eyes go in the heart category. Yes, Ty. Gray eyes go in gray eyes go in the heart category along with green. So based on that, I'm gonna like delete Rex out of this chat room because he's being a little mouthy, just for the record. Best friends shouldn't be that mouthy. But based on the information that I just gave you and the fact that everybody's aware that my hair color is colored, what do you think I am? So I'll even take off my glasses.
Okay.
What do you think
Heart?
I am?
A
Hearts.
I am 100% hearts.
Are
Yeah.
you? Okay.
100% hearts. Yeah. So my hair is naturally very sandy. It's like brown and blondes together, which is why I color it, because right now it's gray. Doesn't count. And my eyes are hazel green. So I'm 100% heart. So if it makes you feel any better at all, I'm a basket case too, which is why I do this for a living.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Makes you feel better.
Oh, it should make you feel better. It should totally make you feel better. Look at that. You like Kjarlune Rae and she's in what nut too? I would feel better knowing that I am not the only crazy person on this planet. I mean, I do. I feel better every time I teach a class because I know I am not the only crazy person. I actually attract them and they take lessons from me. It's fabulous. Okay, so I'm just going to take a second here and I'm going to ask everybody on the side, was anybody having any troubles here over on the side in the chat figuring out who and what you are? That sounds so bad. Who and what you are. Did any of you have any struggles figuring out? Okay, so Helen is, I'm a redhead with blue eyes, so no idea. Diamond and spade. You are correct, Helen. Diamond and spade. Diamond and spade. You have that 100% correct, which means you can be manipulative and conniving at the same time. And it doesn't mean, and it's so important for you guys to understand, I'm 100% hearts. Yes, you are, Lindsay. That is very true. Michelle's trying to figure it out. It's been so long. Andrea, yeah, you know what, Andrea, honey, I believe that you're hearts for sure. I really do. And then we've got Phoenix, who I know who that is. She's a diamond and spade. That's correct. Hearts and diamonds. See, you guys are grasping all of this. We get this. Now, this is where it also gets fun because especially with the clubs and with the spades people, as they get older, they become more emotional. Okay, so with diamonds and hearts, we're already emotional people, right? So if you look at it, the red suits are already emotional and the black suits tend to be very logical, analytical, conniving, cunning, all of those sort of things, right? Which is really how you develop it, black logic, red emotion. But as they get older and as their hair starts to go salt and pepper, and it actually starts to shift their personality. So you'll notice, if you know anybody in your life that has dark hair or brown hair and brown eyes, that as they get older, they really mellow out and they're a lot less logical. They're a lot less thinker about it. It's far more common, believe it or not, for clubs and spades people to actually suffer with dementia as they age. And so this is really good information for you, Tracy, in palliative, that when you're dealing with someone, and of course, when you're dealing in palliative, I'm actually going to let you guys all in on a couple of secrets just because, and the reason I'm going to do this is because Tracy's goal is to actually move, because you're a nurse, sweetheart, and your goal is to move over into the palliative world. which is why you're going to come and do some intuition stuff with me. So as they get older, especially because they've absorbed so much knowledge, so much information, because they're such thinkers, dementia is extremely common because the hard drive that is their brain tends to get overloaded, and they become a lot more emotional. Yeah, JC, like my dad, he's becoming a mushy puppy. That's exactly correct. So the other secret that I'm actually going to give you when you're dealing with people that have major health issues and you're dealing with elderly people. So this is just sort of a fun fact. I don't know how fun it is, but I don't have any better word for it. But when a person is close to dying, and I'm sharing this especially for you, Tracy, because you're going to be working in palliative, and a lot of times in palliative, you deal with cancer. Right? So you deal with cancer and dementia tend to be the two most common traits. Great information for absolutely everybody. When a person starts to actually get a blue ring around the outside of their eye, so right around the outside of the black, it is a sign of cancer. So if you can see a glowing blue ring or a ring that starts to appear on the outside of a person's eye, they need to be tested for cancer. As that blue gets bigger and bigger, so the more palliative they're becoming and the more limited their time is here, that blue will actually increase exponentially to the point where there's barely any color left in a person's eye. So as a palliative, you guys on the side don't know this because you weren't here when I was talking about this, but when I first left home, I actually worked with palliative, and it was a really cool thing for me to learn as far as intuition went. So I'm just that person that actually was extremely observant when they were getting ready to cross over, and I'd pay attention to things. And I drive my best female friend crazy because she is in remission, has been for over a decade of stage 4 lymphoma. And every time she's got to go for tests or she's got to go for anything, the first thing I make her do is stare at me in my eyes. I'm like, let me see your eyes. She just flips her out. She's like, fine. Because I'm always looking for a blue ring. Because if I see a blue ring in her eyes, I'm going to freak out. Like, that's just it. I'm going to lose it. The nurse, so true, worked in palliative. Is it normal to notice a smell that goes with that with cancer? Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. And then Michelle says a blue ring around the pupil or on the skin and or orbital bone on the skin, which is correct. But I was just talking about hair and eyes. So that's sort of really cool information just for everybody to have. Ladies, do you have any questions for me so far?
I don't think so.
About playing cards and stuff? Okay, so this is where it's going to get fun, because now I'm going to teach you how to do health spreads with your playing cards. So this is where life's about to get a lot of fun. So here's the first thing I want you to do. I want you all to grab your decks of playing cards, and I want you to start shuffling them. So question for you, Tracy and Tanis, why do I want you to shuffle your decks?
So it picks up us?
Yes, that's
right?
Exactly right. So it picks up your energy. Okay.
Okay.
So what I want you to do, and this is every time you either go to do a reading or a health reading, the very first thing that you do, and it's whether you're using your fairy cards, your angel cards, your tarot cards, or your playing cards, you take a couple seconds here and you shuffle your deck, and it doesn't matter how you shuffle them. Okay. So as you can, I can hear that, Tracy, you're doing it like dealer style, correct?
Yeah.
Love that. And then you're doing it like this, right, Tanis? Do I have that correct? No? How are you doing it?
Dealer style.
Dealer style. So it doesn't matter how. Yes, you leave the jokers in, my lovelies. Yes, you do.
Oh.
And I did. Sorry, Helen just asked me that, and I did not put meanings of jokers in your guys' playing cards. But jokers are just surprise and celebration. That's all they are. It's like a pay attention card, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
But yes, you leave your jokers in. So it doesn't matter how you shuffle your cards. Okay. So now that you're done, now I want you to stop shuffling for just a second. Everybody with me? Okay. And I'm just going to show it like this. Now I want you to drop your deck. Just drop them. Why did I want you to drop them?
Oh.
Shake off our energy?
I want you to cleanse them. Every time you drop your deck, it's to cleanse them and start over. So it's like a rewrite in the cards. Okay. So they have your energy, but now they know there's something we want to do with them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I want you two ladies and everyone that's over here on the side, exactly, ground the cards, Catherine. I want you guys on the side and you two sitting in front of me. I want you to think of someone in your life that you want to know about their health. Okay. So I want you to think about them. And while you're thinking about them, I want you to start shuffling your cards. And I want you to shuffle your cards on the side, and Tracy and Tanis, I want you to think about the person that you're going to do a health spread for while you're shuffling your cards. Once you feel like stopping shuffling your cards, just stop. Don't touch them, just stop. Okay? You two are done, so I'm just going to give everybody a quick second on the side. Can you imagine how many people are going to want to check out my health because I'm a vapor? Okay, so now we've given enough energy. So now I want you to take your cards, and are either of you right or left-handed?
Right.
Right-handed?
Technically, right?
Okay, so I want you to take your cards in your left hand, and I want you to put them in your right hand. Okay, I'm left-handed, so I'm going to put my cards in my left hand, and in my right hand, I'm going to put them into my left hand. You with me? Okay. Now what I want you to do, and you can do it either while they're laying flat or while they're in your hands, is I want you to put them flat on the hand that you use as your dominant hand. Okay. And then I want you to cut the cards. So the reason that I'm doing this up here is that all of you guys can see. Okay. So I'm just going to see if I can hold it flat like this. I want you to cut the cards, but I want you to pay really close attention, because as soon as you see cards drop, you got to put the deck back down. Do you see how the cards dropped on me?
Yeah.
You want to put the deck back down, and you want to grab without any drop. Do you see how nothing dropped that time?
Yeah.
Did you guys see how I did that? You take your top set of cards and you put them on the side, and you're only going to use your bottom set. If one fell out, you shuffle it together. You give it a real quick shuffle, Carol, and then you do it again. So you're only using the bottom set.
Okay.
Do you two have that set?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to lay your cards 1 to 6 in one row, and then right underneath 1 to 6 in another row. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm just going to show everybody as soon as I do it again. I'm going to have to do this spread again, but I can do it a lot faster. But I'll just show you guys what it should look like. So that is what you should have sitting around you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Face up. Yeah, Helen, face up. Now I'm going to shuffle them again, because the person that I just asked about, you can be guaranteed actually has some health issues and no spades came up. So I'm just going to do this again. Now, while I'm doing this, I will share with you guys. So the only thing that I do with my playing cards now, after all these years of doing readings, is I actually have my playing cards with me in every reading that I do, because I do health spreads for people. And the reason that I use my playing cards in health, and the reason that I recommend it for so many people, regardless of what type of reading or anything that they do, is because then you don't take it on. You're leaving all that energy in the cards and you don't take it on. It's gotten to the point after all these years that, just an example, yesterday I was in sessions, and one of the clients that I was dealing with is having some really bad neck issues, like really bad, and is going to have to go for another surgery and stuff. And I picked up on it right away. If I hadn't used the cards, I'd have been in a lot worse shape last night. But at the end of my night, my neck was really sore. I could hardly move it. I was exhausted. I was yawning because I was feeling like I was getting lack of oxygen. My body was slowing down, like my blood was running thicker. So it's really tough to do readings and not end up taking some of it on. Right. So that's why I recommend doing health spreads, no matter who you're doing the information on. Okay. So now I'm just going to lay my cards out again. Wow, she really is doing better than I thought. Look at that. Okay, so ladies, you guys have your cards spread out, correct?
Yeah,
that's correct.
Okay, so I'm just going to show you again, because this is sorry, just bear with me for a second because this is what it's supposed to look like. Catherine, typically when you have a lot of experience with cards and a card drops out, you are correct that you need to use it. But when you're first learning how to use cards and when you're learning how to do health spreads, you don't actually pull out that extra card. So when a card drops, when you're doing a health spread, reshuffle your cards. It means that the information is not clear enough. When you're using tarot cards and they drop and you've got lots of experience, yes, that's more information, but not when you're first learning. Okay, so that's what my spread looks like, just so that everybody can see. Okay, and so now, and you guys are all going to get this when you pull out your guys' copy. Helen, no, it doesn't matter if you go left to right or right to left. That's irrelevant. So this is what a health spread should look like, just so that everybody can see. And then here is all the meanings that you're going to see. Okay. So your very first card, which is card 1, and I'm going to do it this way so you can see. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See how I just did that? Okay. So the very first card is your head. And for all of you guys that are sitting here because you don't have the meanings right now, you just want to have a little piece of paper and a pen right beside you so you can write what I'm about to say down. Okay. So the first card is your head. The second card is throat. Your third card is the chest area. Tell me if I'm going too fast, ladies.
Nope.
You're good.
Okay. Fourth card is upper stomach. Fifth card is lower stomach. Sixth card is your upper back. 7 is your lower back and or urinary tract area. 8 is your reproductive, and for men that also means prostate. Card number 9 is your bowels and thighs.
1 second.
Yep, you bet.
Okay. 9 is which?
Bowels and thighs.
Okay.
And then you've got knees, calves, and feet. So 10 is knees, 11 is calves, and 12 is feet. And this is what I'm going to do too, just super quick to make this easier for people. So I'm just putting in the chat the first 6, and then I'm about to put the second 6 down. I don't make so many spelling mistakes. And there's the lower 6. If it hits enter, and it did. There we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to see. Before I continue, does anybody, first of all, Tracy, Tanis, do you two have any questions so far?
Nope. Good so far.
Not so far? Okay. And how about anybody in the chat room? Does anybody have any questions in the chat that you want me to answer about that? Just going to give you a second. Thank you. You're welcome, Aaron. Any questions? Okay, so while I'm waiting to see if you guys have any questions, the very first thing that you want to do in a health spread is you want to look for where there's spades in your spreads. Okay, so Tracy, do you have any spades showing up?
I do. Yeah.
Where are the spades sitting, honey?
Chest, upper stomach, lower stomach, and feet.
Okay, and Catherine, Catherine, I know what that means, but what's got you confused, darling? I'm sorry, I can't type with my mouth full, so I can't ask a question. I rushed. Oh, you rushed into the spread and didn't fixate on anyone. Okay, well, you can just reshuffle and do it again, sweetheart. Now I understand what, because it came back with FAC, and I'm like, what? What's I don't understand the question, but she had written something above. Okay. So for you, Tracy, what is the spade that's in the chest?
Ace.
And who did you do this for?
Dad.
How old's your dad, honey?
64.
Okay. And in the upper stomach, what was the spade?
Jack.
And lower stomach?
Queen.
And the feet?
8.
Okay. So, how's your dad been feeling, honey?
Good, I guess. He's on self-isolation because he just got back from Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like you to do that spread again.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you why. I want you to shuffle it and do it again. I'm
Okay.
going to explain to you why. Before you do it, I'm going to explain to you why.
Okay.
Based on what your spades are saying, and I'm going to show you this through the spread, but based on what your spades are saying, there's either a massive heart attack that's about to happen because ace is the highest it gets. Do you understand what I'm saying? So ace is the thing that we would be the most concerned about. And the place that we would be the most concerned about an ace of spades is in the heart, because that's what functions the rest of our body, right? But you've got a jack and you've got a queen in the upper and lower stomach, which means that there's intestinal stuff, and kidney and liver failure is where all of that comes into play, right? Which would also make sense to me if it was a heart attack.
Right.
Okay. But this is where it actually gets more interesting, because you have the 8 of spades in the feet, which is based on circulation. So I'm going to ask you a question just as a nurse for just a second, taking this out of being your dad, because I do not believe this is your dad. I do believe we're going to see spades in that area. I just don't think we're going to see an ace of spade, just for the record. Okay. But as a nurse, when you know that if somebody was to walk into the hospital and tell you that they're having some circulation issues, so they're getting tingling in their feet, they're having some pains and struggles in their upper and lower stomach and abdomen area and just under their chest area, and they're feeling a tightness in their chest, what are you going to think?
Heart attack first, but maybe a AAA.
Which is?
Aortic aneurysm.
Right. And then the third option is a stroke, correct?
That's way far out there. That would
way far out there. And when you're looking at the health, the reason that it's way far out there is because there's no spade going on in the head area. If you had a spade sitting in the head area with all of these things, I would actually be more prone to the idea that it's a stroke, which is going to affect all of these areas. So a stroke that would lead into a heart attack, than I would be a heart attack that's going to lead into some kidney failure or liver failure. Do you see how I do that when I'm looking at those cards? Does all of that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So one of the advantages that you're going to have as a nurse is you're going to see these areas and you're going to be able to put 2 and 2 together. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'd like you to reshuffle those cards, because I don't actually believe that your dad is an ace of spade at this particular moment. Okay. Yeah, your entire deck. But I want you to put them all together, shuffle them just really quickly, and then drop them. And then I want you to shuffle them again and cut them while thinking of your dad. And I'm going to be with you in just a second, Tanis. Catherine, after the drop of cards, which hand do you pick up from and cutting the deck? So when you're done shuffling your cards, not after you drop them, but when you're done shuffling your cards, you're going to put the deck in your non-dominant hand, and you're going to have your non-dominant hand. So I'm just going to show you. So my non-dominant hand, I'm left-handed. Okay, so I'm going to take the deck that I've shuffled in my right hand, and I'm going to put it into my left hand before I actually make a cut. And then when I cut, I want the cut to be completely clear. The nurse, Julie, this is so cool. Well, yes, except that the first thing I got was an ace of spades, which stressed me out a little bit. It sounds about to answer some questions. That part's not cool, nurse Julie. That's not cool. That's not cool. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to you, Tracy, in just a second. But Tanis, what do you have? Where are your spades?
I have the spades in chest, the upper stomach, the reproductive and prostate. Oh, sorry, I missed lower back and urinary tract. The reproductive prostate, and in the bowel size.
Okay. And who is this reading for, first of all?
Boyfriend.
Okay. How old's your boyfriend?
47.
Okay. What's your boyfriend's name?
Keith.
Keith. Now, just for shits and giggles, because I like to tap into things, what's Keith's birthday?
May
Mr.
8th.
I think way too much and don't actually communicate all that well. May 8th. Okay. And the spade that's in his chest?
Yes, is 10.
Okay. And his upper stomach?
3.
And his his back?
Lower back is queen.
And that's lower back and urinary tract, right?
Right.
Okay. And his bowels?
Bowels, 6.
And his reproductive?
Is ace.
Okay. Okay. So, Tracy, I'm coming back to you. Where'd you get spades?
I'm stuck on after shuffling what to do.
Oh,
I don't have it written down.
No, that's okay, sweetheart. So after you shuffle, honey, and you know what? I'm just going to take these down because I'm going to show you guys based on all of yours. Kate, honey, it's fine that you got a joker in the prostate area. It doesn't mean that they won't actually get it up again. It's fine. You're good. It's I mean, I could have tons of fun right now and tell you that as soon as you see a joker in the prostate area, they need to get Viagra, but it's not true. It would just be amusing. It would just be my amusement. But a joker doesn't mean anything in health spreads, my lovely. We're only looking for spades in the health spreads. Okay, so you've got your cards and you're right-handed, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you're going to hold your card. After you've shuffled your cards, you're going to take them from your left hand and you're going to place them onto your right hand. Right?
Okay.
And the nurse Julie's laughing at me in my Viagra joke. And then you're going to cut them. And you're going to take the bottom deck.
Okay.
Right? And the bottom deck's what you're going to spread. What you're going to spread. Spread them! Oh, I do not get out much. Let's see what I've got to just while we're doing this, because I'm about to actually do your health spread, Tanis, in just a second here.
Okay.
Andrea, Jesus H. Christ, it worked. It's like, I might know what I'm talking about. Who would have thought this? That is crazy. What do we have here? So, Julie Hubbard, I got a 3 of spades in the head. I did it for my mom and 4 spades in total. Perfect, Julie. So share with me where all the spades are sitting. Just for the record. Laughing my ass out. No one gets out much right now. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is Tanis. Okay. So when we're trying to understand this, so the first thing, because we're looking at spades, you guys, so we're going from ace to king is what we're doing. But ace is always the biggest. Does that make sense? So I'm actually I'm going to redirect that. I'm going to say we're going to go from 2 to ace is how we're going to do it. Cause that'll just make it easier on everybody's minds. Okay. So we're doing this sort of based on how severe something is. Okay. So 2 is like the minor, a little bit of a blip, nothing to really be worried about. And then we get up to 3, 4, 5. And then at 5, we're starting to pay a little closer attention, if that makes any sense. But where we really, and so it's just something to sort of pay attention and acknowledge. Do you guys see what I'm saying? But the bigger the spade is the bigger the problem. Right?
That's good.
And then once we get to ace is where we get really worried.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just not good. I got 4 over 5.
4 over 5?
I got 4 spades over the number 5.
Yeah, that's not bad though. Here's what we got to pay attention to. Okay. So you've got the 10 of spades in the heart.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw this out here. Not like I'm clairvoyant or anything, but Keith doesn't take really good care of himself, right?
No, he does not.
Yeah. I actually technically did not need to be psychic for that, but I'm just throwing out there that I'm aware. All I had to do was look at the health spread, but I'm just going to throw out that I am clairvoyant and he's not really somebody who takes really good care of himself.
No.
Okay. So if we're paying attention to all of this, the first thing we want to look at is we've got the 10 of spades in the heart area, but we've got the 3 of spades in the stomach.
Right.
Okay. So those two together right off the back, if I'm not paying attention to anything else, if you think about that, those two tell me that he's really shitty or crappy. That's going to get cut off YouTube crap. I'm really going to have to learn this whole YouTube thing. Cause that's just I was raised by a trucker. There's going to have to be a sign above me for every recording I do that says, do not swear. And just for the record, Helen, yes, upper back can also be lung area. But looking at your 10 and your 3, this is actually telling me that the man is not really cautious about what he eats. So the 10 in his heart is that he's got plaque. Okay. So he probably has a high blood pressure right now, which we would really like to work on. I'm just sort of throwing that out there because, high blood pressure, and plaque in the heart can lead to issues. Right. But the 3 is telling me that he's just not taking care of himself and eating proper foods. Okay. He doesn't actually think about if it's affecting his stomach and his bowel area. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
To add to that, I got the queen, the ace, and the 6, or it's a 2, right? Not a queen, it's a 2.
No, it's a queen, ace, and 6.
Oh, look at me. Wow. So we got the queen, ace, and 6. Okay. And the ace is sitting in his bowel area. Okay. Which normally, if I was really wanting to pay attention, and I do sort of want to pay attention to this, when I see that and it's an ace, I'd really want to recommend that he get his prostate checked. But we're dealing with Keith, and that's kind of like recommending that he, get a woman to fix his car. So I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to get him to go to the doctor and get his prostate checked. I'm just throwing this out here because I think he's going to look at you and be like, shut up, I'm fine. Bye.
He might, because he is worried about how his mom passed away.
So and how did his mom pass away?
I believe it was colon cancer.
Yeah. So I would really like him to get that checked, knowing that information. That's just a little more tidbit that we really want to get that checked. But when we're looking at this, we've got a queen, ace, and a 6 in between reproductive, prostate, and bowels. And then we've got a 3 in his stomach area, right? Mm-hmm. And the 10 is telling me that there's plaque in his heart. So that tells me that he's actually he's got a lot of food allergies is the very first thing that I'd throw out here. So he's not actually paying attention to what he's eating at all, which means that he's bloating. I would also have to assume that this means that there needs to be a little bit of weight loss going on because we've got stomach issues going on. So you're shaking your head. Yes. See, I don't even need to be near the man to understand this. And I would really like him to get his prostate, bowel, colon area checked.
Okay.
Do you see how I just did that?
I think so.
Do you
because it's all in the one area?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's because it's all in the one area and it progressively gets worse as we go into the bowel area and stuff.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Do you see how I did that one just based on what I was saying, Tracy? Did that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm going to get you to share with me because you did your dad again, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
I did. So I have spades in the head, throat, and upper back and feet.
Yeah, see? And you'll notice that what I was more concerned about was a stroke. Remember when I said that to you?
Mm-hmm.
When you laid down your first set of cards? What's the head spade?
2.
Okay, and the throat?
8.
And his back?
3.
And feet?
10.
So a 2 and a 10 together. So a spade and a spade on total opposite ends. The very first thing that we want to think about is blood flow. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. On top of that, and this is where we need to start trusting our intuition. I promise you guys, I'm going to answer you over here on the side. I'm just helping the girls here right now. This is also where we got to pay attention to our intuition a little bit when we're doing health spreads, right? The fact that your spread previously did not feel correct to me, but it felt like it was trying to tell us something. Does that make sense? It's the first thing I'm going to pay attention to when I look at the second spread. Okay. When I look at the second spread, obviously I'm a whole lot more relaxed and easygoing because the cards are much lower. So I'm not sitting back going, oh my God, somebody rushed this man to the hospital like yesterday. Get to the hospital now. Like if I'd have gotten that spread twice in a row, I'd have been on the phone with my father going, go now. I don't care. Tell them you have the corona. I don't care. Get your ass in there like now. Right. This second spread tells me that I don't need to be nearly as worried. Okay. But it does share with me what I was talking about when I said we want to look at the head area because of the circulation. Okay. So the head and the circulation together and the throat area, believe it or not, because the throat area is also the neck area. And when a person has a potential of a stroke, it actually comes up in the neck area before it comes up in the head area.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So based on that and based on the upper stomach area, which we're still looking at liver kidney area, tells me that something's not functioning quite right in his blood. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Which would leave me a couple of concerns because of the last spread. Because things not functioning properly in his blood. I mean, my first sort of instinctual reaction is that his blood is getting a little thicker than it should, which would explain why we'd have had questions of heart attacks and that kind of stuff, why we're having organ things popping up, and why we're having head and circulation popping up. Because when blood starts to thicken and doesn't flow through our body properly, these are when we get the issues.
Right.
Does that make sense to you? Do you see how I just did that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So so especially after I've done the 2 spreads, I'd really want to start be talking to him and saying, Dad, I like that you're still kind of young and still traveling, all that kind of fun stuff. But how about we get your blood checked, make sure everything's all, thin and flowing properly. And
I
what
tried
was that
last year. I
How'd
think
that
the one
go?
who suggested for him to get his blood checked, and
Oh, we've had this conversation before?
we have. Absolutely.
Oh,
Stubborn man.
huh.
With a history of circulatory issues and heart issues.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Not him personally, but
family.
family.
Well, that explains why I got a little freaked out when I heard about all those spades.
Yeah.
Okay, what about talking to mom? Will he do stuff? No?
No, she passed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Does he have anyone in his life that he's close to? Outside
Yeah.
of, like, kids?
Mm-hmm.
Like someone that he's dating or something?
Yeah.
How about you go to her?
I could try.
Because I don't know about you, but I can get my husband to do a whole lot more than his kids can. Right? The kids tell him to do something, he's like, zip it. Comes to me and goes, they're just doing that. So I tell him to do something, he's like, yes, ma'am. I'm like, yeah. Want to get lucky again? Go to the doctor. Yeah. I'm not going to lie to you. I use that tool as often as I can when I'm worried. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, Helen said, ask them to do this as a gift to you. Okay, so what I want you two ladies to do for me again is I want you to think of someone else, and I want you to shuffle. Can you do that for me? While you're doing that, I'm going to deal with everybody in the chat room. So, everybody, tell me what you got going on for your spade. Kate, the thing that you asked me is, can I do this for myself? Of course you can do this for yourself. Denise, you've got ace of spades in the back area and 3 of spades in 1, 2, 3, 4. So upper stomach and back. Okay. So an ace of spades sitting in the back area more typically than not is back pain would be what we'd get there. And knowing that it's the upper stomach area would tell me that it's, probably stomach and aches and pains is where I'd go with that. But in the chat room, you guys can share with me, looking at your spades, what do you think you got? We got a 6 of... Okay, so 6 for throat or queen for throat, Cora. You've got a 6 for a throat, a queen for a throat, and a 9 for calf. There's only one throat area, sweetheart. So I need you to send that to me again. Send that to me again. My aunt has blocked arteries, and I got a 4 of spades in the knee area. Just the knee area, Trisha. Trisha, did you get anything in her heart? Cheryl, head is 7, throat is 6. So a 7 and a 6 in your head and your throat, sweetheart, whoever you're doing this for would tell me that they're probably catching a cold. Penny, who are you doing your session for? Who are you doing your reading on? No, Trisha, so there's no spades in her heart, which means that the only thing that's happening right now is that she's having some knee issues. So as much as she has blocked arteries, obviously something's okay with it right now. Yes, you can redo it and see it again. Brother. How old's your brother, Penny? And how good does he take care of himself? Uh, 6 in the neck, which I understand. 9 in the reproductive area, which I also understand. Okay, that makes sense. Julie. Sorry, guys, just give me a second here. So Julie's got a 1, an ace. $58, does not take care of himself. Okay, so Penny, do that spread again, just to double check. Because I really don't like the ace in the chest. Like whenever I see an ace in the chest. Oh, 3. That makes, thank you. Julie, that made more sense. Penny, whenever I see an ace in the chest, even when I'm doing readings for people, I always reshuffle just to make sure, because the last thing I'm going to do is tell somebody that there's a massive heart attack coming unless I get confirmation. 7 is a 6. Sorry, guys, just give me a second here. 9 is a king. Okay. And 12 is a 9. Okay, so this is for Julie. So Julie, you've got the head area, you've got let me see where this is. You've got the lower back area and urinary tract. And then you've got the bowels and thigh area, and then you've got circulation. So those three together, especially because our spades are getting worse as we're going into the bowel area, will tell me that it's a circulation issue. That there's a circulation issue, which would leave me to question blood, because I always question blood in circulation. And then so looking at those cards the way that they are would tell me that there's some minor headaches going on with some bowel and structure and struggles going on there, and that there's some circulation with lots of aches and pains, which honestly, and this is going to sound crazy. So Julie, this is for your mom. Thank you. So my very first reaction when I see what you've just sent to me is that your mom suffers with fibromyalgia and that there's possibly a fall coming. And sometimes I can't explain how I can answer that. It's a lot of practice, and I'm a clairvoyant.
It's helpful.
I can't always answer it. Well, based on the number, I mean, that's experience. But, sometimes the clairvoyant in me just sort of jumps out, especially when I'm seeing the numbers. Rula, what would depression fall under? Heart, sweetheart. Depression would fall under heart. But if, look at that, Julie, just fell. God, you'd think I was a psychic. I mean, sometimes even I get excited. I don't get out much, ladies. I really do not get out much. The nurse Julie's laughing at me. Yay, she fell. I don't mean it like that at all. I just meant, yeah, I was right. So bad. For anybody that's coming in right now, he sees me all excited that somebody fell. It's wrong. It's so wrong. But Rula, if you have, when you're looking at, so this is actually a really great question, because I'm just going to put this up here, ladies, just so everybody can see who's watching this. What would depression fall under, head and heart? So head or heart. So one of the great things to understand about these readings is that they can also tell us a lot about the emotional state. So when you're wondering about somebody's emotional state, you absolutely want to look for spades. But what you really, when you're looking at someone's emotional state, what you want to look for is what the cards are actually saying. So not just what the spades are saying, but if you're concerned about somebody's sort of emotional state or their well-being, you want to look at what the meaning is on the head card and the heart card and the stomach card. Because how does a person show depression? Does that make sense? When I'm saying that, ladies, do you guys get that?
Yeah.
Julie, you're amazing. Is there anything else I can? God, you make me feel good, woman. Is there anything else I can do for her? Well, I don't know how to answer that question at this particular moment, sweetheart. I think that we should seriously be looking at how much help and assistance that she's getting, because she's not doing so well doing it all on her own. If that makes sense. Okay, my lovelies, what do we got? So, Tanis, who's your next one that you did a reading for?
I did a reading for my friend Kjarlune.
Okay, and where's the spades?
In the throat, chest.
What is it?
Oh, throat is 10.
Mm-hmm.
Chest is an 8.
Mm-hmm.
And the feet is a 3.
Cool. So now I'm going to ask you, based on that information, what do you think's going on?
I was actually shocked by this reading, because to me it doesn't look like it's that bad, and she's been very, very, very sick.
Okay.
But the throat and chest kind of makes sense because she's had a double mastectomy.
Okay.
So the feet, I don't really know.
See, and I would tell you that the throat, the chest, and the feet is all about recovery right now.
Okay, good.
Right? So
good, yeah.
I would actually look at the 10, the 8, and the 10 together and be like, nah, things have not been great.
No.
Right? Like,
not
it's
at
actually
all.
really affected. It's her heart, it's her throat area. So it's also her hormonal area, because throat and woman, we're dealing with hormones,
Yep.
right? So reproductive and throat is going to show us hormone issues. This is where it can be so much fun for nurses, right? And remember when I said originally that when I doing everything that I did with palliative made such a huge difference for me when it comes to figuring out people's health issues. And that's why, because I learned so much information about how everything functions together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for nurses, this is like right? And
Right.
I'm not a nurse. I'm clairvoyant, so that's my advantage. But nursing would definitely be a huge advantage. You could look like a goddess as a reader doing health spreads for people as a nurse, right? But looking all this, it's treatment and recovery,
Oh, good.
right? Which is exactly where she
Yeah.
is right now. So that's the other thing you got to look at is knowing what you know, where the cards are popping up. If they're not super high cards, then that means we're recovering. That doesn't mean that those issues don't exist. It means we're recovering from them. Does that
That's
make
really
sense?
good.
You see
Yeah.
how I say that?
Yeah. So that makes me happy because she was in a very, very low for a while.
Yeah. What do you got, Tracy? Who are you doing it for?
My friend Jen,
Okay.
and I have a 4 in the upper stomach,
Mm-hmm.
a queen on the reproductive, and 5 in circulation.
Cool. So you're the nurse. Tell me what it is. Tell me what's going on. Let's see what you see. Talk to me, girlfriend. Trust yourself.
The first thing that came to my mind was bleeding. And maybe more than normal that's my intuitive.
Yeah. So what are you picking up here, sweetheart? Work with me, darling. Tell me what you're picking up. I know you got this.
That might be, I don't know.
Trust your intuition.
Okay. I'm getting the tinglies right now. So,
I know. Trust.
So I'm thinking hysterectomy might be coming.
God, I could just kiss you right now. Like literally. Mwah!
That's my feeling. Yeah.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. So let's look at this, okay? So we've got it in the stomach area, any hormonal stuff going on in our reproductive area. We all know this. It wreaks havoc on our stomach, how we want to eat, what we want to eat, how we're digesting. It wreaks absolute havoc. And then we've got circulation, which is telling us movement and stuff too, right? And even more importantly than that, we have the Queen of Spades in her reproductive area, the Queen of Spades, the woman trouble card in the woman trouble area.
Yeah.
Right? The girl is bleeding and she needs to go get this all figured out because she's having nothing but issues. And if it continues, it's going to become some autoimmune struggles. She needs to have a hysterectomy. 100%. See how we just did that?
Yeah.
Does that excite you?
It was exciting. Yeah.
Hey, doing the dance of joy. The nurse Julie. Now I understand how you saw what you told me during my reading a couple of years back. Yes, I need to make a new appointment. All right. Michelle, always back to the clairvoyant. Smart Alec. I am a clairvoyant. Okay, guys, pick another person and do it. So I redid the health spread and focused more on my aunt. This is for Trisha. So I got a jack in the upper arm, a king in the knee area, and 4 in the calves. My grandmother passed of colon cancer. And there is heart issues. Okay, we don't need to worry about that. I'm just going to pop this up because everybody's sending me stuff, which is wonderful. We don't actually need to worry about that stuff's in the family because that's not what it's showing on our health spread. So what it's showing on her health spread is we've got issues in the stomach area. We've got issues in knees and calves. Okay, so the thing to look at here is that your aunt probably suffers from fibromyalgia. And that it's actually affecting her with movement and joint. So my first reaction is fibromyalgia because it causes issues in the stomach and in the bones. But my second reaction could be that she also could be having some arthritis issues.
Hey, KJ, I have a question.
Just give me 1 second, Tanis.
Okay.
I promise to answer that.
Yeah.
Kate, does the Ace of Spades in the throat mean thyroid? Yes, my lovely, it does. Go ahead, Tanis.
Is it can I do it on myself?
Of course.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Are you guys remembering to clear your cards every time you do it?
I just did, yes.
Good. And just really quickly, because nobody got to see this, I did do a spread on Michelle, my best friend Michelle, who is in remission from stage 4 lymphoma, and it's showing her stomach area and her throat area, and it showed her calf areas and stuff. But I also know that she's been sick recently, so other than that, she's fine. How's everybody doing over in the chat area while you're shuffling your cards and trying this? Tell me if you got any questions. Are you girls having fun? Janice, Tracy, are you having fun?
I am. Yeah.
Yay!
Yes, I am.
How about everybody in the good? How about everybody in the chat? Are you guys having fun learning something new? I love teaching. My favorite thing is aha moments. I get so excited when you guys just go for it. 6 of Spades, upper stomach. So 6 of Spades, upper stomach would typically lead to digestive issues. No, sorry, Rula. 6 of spades in the upper stomach. So that's the kidney and gallbladder area. And my first reaction is kidney or gallstones. Ace in the calves. So ace in the calves, we want to pay close attention when there's an ace in the calf area because, and we're just going to ask Tracy, the local nurse, where do we typically get blood clots that can cause us the biggest issues?
In your calves.
Yeah. See? Love nurses. So when you see an ace in the calf, the first thing that I'm questioning or worrying about is blood clots. Carol, I did one for myself and got a 7 in the throat and queen in the upper back, which, yeah, having fun. So that, means back and throat areas issues. But what it would also tell me, my lovely girl, and I'm just going to, whoops, I did that wrong. I'm just going to show this here. That would also tell me that you've got thyroid issues, sweetheart, because thyroid issues give us lots of aches and pains in the back. What do the jokers mean? Andrea, what do the jokers mean? Jokers are always surprising gifts. So they typically don't mean anything in health spread. Carmen still needs some clarification on what lower stomach area is. So your upper stomach is where your kidney and liver and gallbladder and that kind of stuff is. Your lower stomach is actually far more your stomach itself. Okay. So when you get the lower stomach area on a health spread, you're actually looking at the at digestive, lower stomach, intestinal tract, yeah, so intestinal, stomach. You really want to pay attention to the bowels when you get a spade in the lower stomach area because typically lower stomach goes with bowels. I hope that helped, Carmen. Okay, ladies, what do you got? Tanis, go ahead.
I have a 10 in the head.
Who are you doing it for?
Myself.
Okay, well, we know you're fucking crazy.
Oh, you're in trouble on YouTube. We need to make you a sign.
I really want to up my YouTube content, and I'm not sure that this is going to go according to plan.
I don't know if you're ready for that yet.
I wish there was an adult YouTube. That would make my life so much easier. I apologize, YouTube. Please don't delete me permanently forever. Please don't. Okay, so we got a 10 of spades in the head. What else we got?
2 in the chest.
Okay.
3 in the lower stomach.
Mm-hmm.
A king in the calves. And a jack in the feet.
Okay, so do you know that your circulation isn't good?
I was thinking, yeah, it's probably not that great.
Yeah, probably not. But I would also be looking at blood stuff, looking at all of this, sweetheart, right? So I'd be questioning if there's something going up with my blood. If my counts are right, I'd probably want to get some blood testing done. Typically a 10 in the head is trying to tell us that there's some headaches, that sort of thing. The stomach area, not surprising to me, especially if I'm seeing some blood issues.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I wasn't surprised to see the 2 high numbers in the calves and feet because that's where I have a lot of problems.
Yeah. Which also means that they should not just be looking at the calves and feet, but they should be looking at the blood because that's typically where our blood issues come through.
Okay.
What do you got, Tracy? Who are you doing yours for?
My brother.
Okay.
I've got nothing on the top row, but I have a 6 in reproductive prostate. And a queen in bowel and thighs. And a 4 in feet.
So what do you think it is?
Bit of a loss.
Okay.
Maybe like colon. The thing is just colon polyps just popped into my head. I don't know.
See, this is where you got to be able to trust your instincts, right? This is where I really want you to be able to sort of trust your intuition and what's going on. Because with the areas that you're looking at, there's no question that we're looking at colon, right?
Right.
The other thing that I'd be questioning is possible sores or issues in the intestinal tract heading to the bowels. because of the cards that are sitting there and because of my intuition, right? But it wouldn't be surprising to me if he's having any colon issues that there would be sores on the lower intestinal tract going into the bowels. Like that would just make sense to me.
Right.
Right. So the first thing that we'd want to do is we'd want him to start checking out that area.
Right.
Right. Maybe get some testing. Do you think your brother would listen?
You're so funny.
I know.
Well, especially during this COVID time, right?
I know.
Only emergent things are available, so it's
Yeah.
something to look into.
But the other thing that he could do, or the other thing that, like, especially during these times, like that's such a great thing, small intestinal bowels. Yes, correct, Michelle. So the thing to keep in mind, especially because with COVID and stuff going on right now, is when you pick up areas like that, the very first thing I would think about doing is I would start doing researching on what can I do to start cleaning my colon, right? Like what can I do to do a natural cleanse? What kind of foods can I eat? Like a prime example, celery juice. I could do celery juice every day and that would start to clean out my colon, right? I would possibly look at ordering a colon cleanse, even though I'm not somebody that's a huge advocate that believes that these cleanses actually work. But as I'm saying that, the areas would also tell me possible parasite, right? Because parasites definitely affect the colon area. So looking at doing like natural juices, that sort of thing if he would be open to it. And I'm not positive that he would.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff like when I'm doing house spreads and stuff for clients right now, because you can't go in and get stuff checked right now. So unless it's something I'm seriously worried about, in which case I'm going to tell you exactly how to lie to your doctor when you get to the doctor so that they'll actually test you. As I will. Then you start looking at some of the natural things that you can do.
Right.
Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got here, Carmen. I'm just going to put this here. So queen in upper stomach, 8 in lower back, king in reproductive, jack in bowels, thighs. Holy moly, that's a lot of spades. So Carmen, you've been a student of mine for a long time. What's the issue? Nice try trying to get me to answer the question. Yeah, brat. What does that tell you, Carmen? What does that spread tell you? She's cursing me, right? I don't even need to be anywhere near her to know that she's calling me names right now. Aaron, eek, king in the head, 7 in the chest, queen in upper stomach, 9 in upper back, 10 in urinary tract. The king in the head scares me. Who are you doing the house spread for, Aaron? That's a question. Calf is a queen. So calves really show us a lot of blood issues, you guys. This is yours, Carmen. I need to eat better. I'm cursing you. See, I didn't need to be anywhere near her computer to know that's exactly what was happening. Yes, you definitely need to eat better, sweetheart, but you also need to start getting more exercise, taking better care of yourself, and you should probably do some, hormonal issues too. You are correct, and you should probably be doing some, when you get a chance, testing for food allergies because your body is not reacting well to them. So far, do you have any questions for me, ladies?
No, it's just trying to figure out how they work together.
That's where it comes to trusting yourself, right? That's where you got to really start learning how to trust what you're feeling and what you're processing through the process, because this is just cards, whether you're doing, regular readings or you're doing health readings, it doesn't matter. Whether you're doing tarot or you're doing cartomancy, or they're just a starting point. Okay. They're just something that gives you the opportunity to pay attention to what you're feeling, to pay attention to what you're thinking. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Right. Okay. So ladies, do you have any more questions for me?
No, I don't.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Excellent. Okay, so just give me a quick second here. I did my sister head. I got a 7, king in the urinary tract area, and 6 in the knees. So Trisha, based on what we've been talking about so far, what do you think that means? Yeah, trying to find the connection between the knees and the calves. So the connection can be one of two things, JC. A connection between the knees and calves can actually be knee issues that end up causing issues with movement and walking because of the calves. It can be that. It can be swelling in your calves. It can also mean water retention. But calves themselves, depending on where they're attacked, what other spades are going on, are a real huge sign for me for blood. Calves have always been a huge sign of blood to me. Okay, so I think that's where we're going to leave it for now, everybody. What I'd love to suggest that you do now that you have this information is when you get a chance, you download the link that's going to give you guys all the meanings to the cards and then write them down, because you'll also notice that once you've written the meanings on all of your cards, that you also get to see so much more in the picture, because what the meanings are saying, along with where the spades are sitting, it's just going to tell you a bigger story. Does that make sense? So that's where I think we're going to leave it. However, before we do that, I would like everybody in the chat to give me a really quick hi. So I just want you to say hi. And then, Tracy, I'm going to get you to give me a number between 1 and 50. Just pick a number between 1 and 50.
1 and 50, 27.
27. You just want me to count.
Yes,
Yes,
more difficult.
Exactly. Okay, so really quickly, I want everybody to give me a high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, just okay. Everybody's throwing this in, so just give me a second. We're going to start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stopped at Catherine. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's Carmen, 17. I just said 17, right?
Yeah.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 27 is Aaron Smith. Aaron, you need to email me at kjarlune@shaw.ca, because you, my lovely, won a deck of playing cards that are written and done by me. So I need you to email me your address, because obviously I can't come see you in person because of COVID. I'm just throwing that out. Not allowed to go anywhere because I have to social distance. And I need about 2 weeks to be able to write out the meanings, because I'm dysfunctional, Aaron. Let's just be honest. So I need 2 weeks to write out the meanings and get them in the mail to you. But you have won a deck of playing cards with me, with my rating on them. And then I will sign the deck. And attached to that, you will also, Aaron, get a link along with, I need to just take that off. Just give me a second. Along with Tanis and Tracy, and you will get a copy of the full playing card video that I am doing for Tracy and Tanis. So that is what we're going to do. So yay, Aaron! Free deck of cards. Woohoo! With my really crazy writing. Good luck reading that. Good luck with that, Aaron. Good luck. You might want to have another deck that you pick out that you write. And you can just put those over on the side. I don't know, give them away to somebody. I don't care. So that is our lesson for today. I hope you two had tons of fun with me. Again, send me an email just so that I've got it in my email in my email that you two were with me, so that as soon as I get the video finished of Cardamacy full, I can send it to you guys. And Tracy, you make sure that you contact me on Facebook, because I will put you in the intuition group, because you are now a part of my class. Thank you so much for helping me, ladies. I hope everybody had tons of fun. Bye, guys. I'm so glad. Bye, guys. As to you, everybody in chat, thank you so much for coming and watching this class. I really hope that you enjoyed yourself. Practice, 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 practice. Have tons of fun with it. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Mwah! And remember, if you want something you never had, you must do something you've never done. And if you're on my YouTube, please don't hesitate to hit like and subscribe. Let's up those numbers so that I can start actually paying attention to what I should or shouldn't say on YouTube. Tons of hugs, you guys. I hope you had tons of fun. Take care. Bye, everybody.